Morning and welcome to the Northern Trust Open Media Day. My name is Mike Bone. I'm the general manager of the tournament, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here today as we get ready to talk about the 2014 Northern Trust Open. Great to be here at UCLA today with John Merrick's thrilling win last year, and by virtue of him being the first Los Angeles native to win the Northern Trust Open, if you can believe that in the history of the tournament. We're thrilled to tie it all together here at UCLA, where he went to school and had some great moments of his own. And then coming out and winning at Riviera last year was a great way to see this all come together. Many of you have been covering this event for decades. We're grateful for your support through the years, and we hope to start a new chapter and talk about some exciting advances today. Before we hear from our speakers and spend some time with our champion, I want to acknowledge a few important people that we have with us. The Northern Trust Open wouldn't be possible without the great support that we have from Northern Trust. So from our title sponsor, Senior Vice President, Director of Client Development, Andy Pasciocco. From the PGA Tour, David Pillsbury, Executive Vice President, Championship Management. And from UCLA, Ashley Armstrong, Associate Athletic Director. We also, for those of you that are going to join us later today, they're not present with us this morning, but want to extend a special thank you to the Riviera Country Club, our host facility, which is one of the best in the world, as you all know, and we're thrilled to be there every year. I'd also like to thank and recognize Josh Ruprick and his staff of the UCLA Athletic Department. Thank you for hosting us today and for making all this possible. While the Northern Trust Open is one of the most respected and historic events on the PGA Tour and on the global schedule, excuse me, not just during tournament week, but 52 weeks a year, we're in our second year of celebrating a real exciting development, and that is by having the City of Hope join us as our official charity. If you're from Los Angeles, you know about the City of Hope, you know about the great work that they do. Last year, with the help of City of Hope and our other charities, we were able to generate $1.3 million for charity and give them back to the community of Los Angeles. At this time, I wanted to introduce Steve Martin, the Director of Marketing with the City of Hope, to come up and say a few words.
That was harder than driving here from Pasadena this morning, which is a lot of fun. Hour and a half later. Yes, wow. This is our second year to be the official charity of the Northern Trust Open. We're really excited. Obviously, 2014 kicks off our second century at City of Hope, and the money raised here goes to cancer research, diabetes research, and not only affects the people in Los Angeles, but those all over the world. And so we're very excited to have the partnership with Northern Trust, the PGA Tour, and I'm working with Mike and his team. And we have some patients here that you'll meet later, and we're here for them. Obviously, it's very exciting for us to be part of this, and Mike, I'll throw it back to you. But the money's raised goes right into cancer research and diabetes research, so thank you very much.
As part of this also, we wanted to introduce our newest citizen of Hope with the City of Hope, who also happens to be our defending champion, John Merrick. Got to squeeze past the bush, John. John's going to come up and say a few words about being a part of the Citizen of Hope, as well as his win last year at the Northern Trust Open.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, everybody. How's it going? First, I'd like to thank Steve for bringing me on to the City of Hope. Really proud and honored to be a representative and to be a citizen of Hope. Such an amazing organization you guys have, all the good work you guys do for the community and beyond. Just really excited to be part of your campaign, and it's neat that it's a local charity here in LA, something I can connect to. So thank you for that. Gosh, I can't believe it's already been a year since the win. It was a dream week. Everything kind of came together for me. You know, being from Long Beach, we went to the tournament a lot as a kid and teenager. Gosh, going out and watching Ernie Els and watching Fred Couples, and you know, dreaming one day to play that tournament and to be able to win and have it be my first win on the tour is, you know, something I'll never forget. It's just always, you know, brings a smile to my face, you know, knowing that I've won out on the tour, and you know, the tour can beat you up, and you can get down on yourself a lot, but you know, I always have something in the back of my head that I know I can do it, and to win at such a historic course as Riviera with such a great field, it was you know, something I'll never forget. So just great memories, and it's great to be back here at campus at UCLA. It's been too long. My wife and I are busy changing diapers at home, so we haven't been up to campus lately. My wife played water polo here too and was part of national championship teams here. So just great to be back. It's fun to hang out with Jonathan and meet him today, kind of the new rising star with the team. I remember my days back as a student athlete. It was just such a fun kind of, you know, existence you have for 4 years. I should have stretched it out and made it 6 years like some of my buddies. But, you know, you wake up, you play golf, you play some of the most amazing courses here in LA, you know, Bel Air and Wilshire and Riviera. And Riviera would, you know, have us over when they punched the greens. Remember that? But such an amazing place, such a breeding ground for success, and so many opportunities here. It's just kind of out for the taking. Great academic school, and you know, you can just really succeed here. So great to be back, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and happy to answer any questions you guys have. So thanks. I'll throw it back to you, Mike.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and introduce the rest of the members of our panel at this time. First, please welcome the newest member of the Northern Trust Open staff and our Executive Director, O.D. Vincent. Many of you may know that O.D. was John's coach here at UCLA, so a unique connection between the two. And even before he was our Executive Director, I know that they were texting and talking a little bit last year during the Northern Trust Open. I'd also like to introduce the current coach of the UCLA men's golf team, Garrick Freeman. And finally, a member of Garrick's team who is no doubt hoping to follow John's footsteps one day, please welcome sophomore Jonathan Garrick. Odie, we have a few questions, and then we're going to open it up to all of you to ask questions as well. Odie, you have a unique perspective on the connection between UCLA, the entire community, the Northern Trust Open, and John, tell us about joining the tournament and how it's brought you full circle back here to UCLA.
Well, I can't believe I'm sitting here for a few reasons. First of all, I can't believe I was fortunate enough to, you know, to be the coach here for 5 years, which was a great experience in my life. And I looked like a great coach when I was here because I inherited John when he was a junior, so that work was already done, and he and his great team he had. But spending the time with them and then seeing one of your former players win the golf tournament, I was fortunate enough to be at the event last year and got a chance to see John win and you know, talked a little bit about some of the courses he played. The reason we got to play Riviera is, again, a lot of times it was in some off-peak times, and we also had to fill divots for the tournament coming up. We had to sand in the divots. So seeing a guy again that grew up in Long Beach, grew up playing public golf at Recreation Park. And come around and win this golf tournament after filling divots shows you that complete cycle of how it works. And I couldn't be more proud of a guy that I am of John to see him come and do that. And still, I was so emotional after that, and I can't imagine all the things that he had and all the, you know, seeing Jody come out to the green and his kids running around. And he was good enough to text me back about an hour after that and say, "Thanks, Coach. I appreciate the note." So. Again, I can't believe it's been a year either. You still look good.
Well, we kept him busy for a couple hours, so that's good he was able to get back to you that quick. Before we get to John, Garrick, watching John win out there, what does this mean to UCLA, to your team, and having an alum win at a tournament as revered as the Northern Trust Open?
Well, I think especially to have a past player win right here locally at UCLA is just something that says so much about the program. It's unique because there's not a lot of places that have, you know, a local guy win that goes to school here and wins on the major tour. So it was just incredible for us to watch that and watch it transform and see him go out and have a victory. It was incredible for us as a school, as a golf program. We've had a lot of success over the years, and to have a local guy win, you know, right here in our own backyard at a golf course that we play all the time has just been incredible. It's been a great run, and hopefully it continues, and I'd love to see him repeat.
So would we. Jonathan, with yourself, what was it like last year on Sunday for you and the guys on the team? Did you all get together, pulling for them?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I guess John's pretty good friends with a lot of players on the team that play in Long Beach, so it was cool to hear from them about that personal connection. And it's neat to see that just going through the same program as John, we grew up, you know, we're playing a lot of the same golf courses right now, so I know, you know, following in his footsteps and playing Riviera as part of the program to hopefully be there one day is pretty special thought. So it's definitely something I'm looking forward to doing in hopefully the next few years.
So John, how has your life changed after winning the Northern Trust Open, being a PGA Tour winner, and as part of that, what's been the biggest surprise to you during that time?
Yeah, you know, it's just great to see hard work pay off, you know, in golf. You don't get to win a lot unless you're Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson, but it's just fun to work at the game and dream, and to finally see kind of the fruits of your labor, to come out and win a tournament. You know, it just feels real good. It just always, you know, it's just going to have great memories, you know, from the tournament and everything. But you know, I got into some bigger tournaments, some World Golf Championships and majors because of the win and the exemption. The 2-year exemption's huge, so that takes a little pressure off this year. But it's just nice knowing that you've won out in the tour and you kind of feel like you belong a little bit more. So.
And did you feel that having any local knowledge of Riviera helped? Did that help you come Sunday down the stretch
there?
there?
I think so, definitely. You know, I grew up on Poana Greens and Kikuya, you know, down in Long Beach, and then playing in the LA area. So I think a lot of the guys on tour, you know, like Bermuda, a lot of guys live in Texas, a lot of guys live in Florida. So they come out to California, they're always, you know, grumbling about the Poana Greens and everything, and I'm like, well, maybe I got a notch up on these guys. So I think that played a factor. And then, you know, seeing the tournament a lot, you know, coming up as a teenager and then at school playing the golf course, I think it was one of the courses where I had more, you know, more practice rounds than any other course on the tour. So I think that played a huge factor.
Okay. Garrick, a question for you is Saturday or Sunday is UCLA Day out at the tournament. You're going to be out there, I understand. What are the plans for UCLA Day with your team and the school itself to come out?
Well, for part of it, we're going to be out there early, but we've got a practice round in the desert, so we've got to head over there. But for UCLA Day out at Riviera is just incredible because we want to get all the fans and support out there. You know, it's right here local, and we want it to be a big splash for UCLA, and it means something. You know, because it's a local course that we have had success for UCLA, and we want to get as many people out there as we can, and so our team's going to be out there supporting all week long. You know, during the practice rounds, it's great because our guys get to really watch these guys on their work days and see how they, you know, go through a golf course and go through their game management and build a game plan. So it's great for our guys to be able to watch that during the week, and then as we get closer to the weekend, they get to see the fruits of the labor of how these guys go about their week, how they can incorporate some of those things into their own game, and, you know, it can make a difference in what they want to do because all of these guys on our team are trying to become PGA Tour stars, and so they're trying to figure out ways to sit up here like John Merrick and talk about how they've won on the PGA Tour. So when they get an opportunity to learn and sit and watch and observe these guys on tour, I think it gives them a big advantage for what they want to do later in life.
Right. OD and John both. OD, you have a unique perspective because you've coached here, and I imagine the other places you've coached, you've recruited here. Talk about having like a Los Angeles kind of native, if both of you can. What does that mean to local golf here? OD, in your role now as the executive director and promoting the Northern Trust Open. John, with your affinity here, is a young man that is going to play at the Northern Trust Open many years. Having a local winner, what does that mean to just local golf and the importance?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'd say first of all, and I think Garrick touched on this a little bit, it's so inspirational when you see someone you know, someone from your area, someone that grew up, again, on your public golf course, what it might be, rise to the very, very highest level and have success there. You know, we have our Tee Off for Youth program at the Northern Trust Open where we bus out kids and so they can see a golf tournament for the first time. And I think, you know, it all starts there. It all starts when they're very young and getting inspired, seeing the greatest players in the world. And there's nothing better than, again, seeing one of your own to be able to identify with that, have success. And that's what was so special. One of the very special things I think about John's win last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just speaks to the strength of golf in Southern California, youth golf. There's so many good tournaments to play growing up. I just remember back in the days when I started playing, you know, 11 and 12 years old, you know, going out to the, you know, the country club with, you know, open up play for a day for a junior tournament, and it was, you know, it was the best thing ever. You know, you play all summer long, and it just shows the strength of play, you know, in the area. And there's tons of great players and great weather year round. You can play year round. It doesn't snow or anything. So there's just so much talent here, and you know, it speaks to that, I think.
Jonathan, tell us a little bit about your short and long-term goals a little bit. In particular, watching so many UCLA alum have such success out here at the Northern Trust Open and on the tour in general. What does that lead for a young man like you with looking in the future?
It means a lot. In our facility, we have we hang up a lot of the professionals' bags who are out on tour right now, so it's kind of inspiration daily to see, you know, names that have gone through the same program that I've gone through, or I guess I'm going through right now, and just see what they've accomplished. So in terms of short-term goals, you know, I'd love to have the opportunity to represent my country in some sort of a team event such as the Palmer Cup or Walker Cup. So that's something I strive for every day. And then long-term, you know, just to be out on the PGA Tour and, you know, just follow the lifelong dream that I've been working towards since before I could walk, pretty much.
And are these guys inspiration to you when you see the success they're having?
Yeah, definitely. Just because, especially, you know, with John last year, just someone you can relate to. They've all been in our position. They've been through the same ups and downs that we've gone through as college golfers, and just to see where a lot of these guys have ended up, and hopefully see myself there one day is a pretty inspiring thought.
Garrick, can you give us a little preview of what you see with the team this year, and tell us a little bit about how is UCLA able to stay one of the premier programs year in and year out?
Absolutely. I think a lot of it is just recruiting to this type of institution. Kids want to get a good education, and they want to come. They want to come here. And then we play incredible golf courses. You know, we mentioned Bel Air, Los Angeles Country Club, Riviera, Wilshire. You know, that's just a handful of them that we have access to. So, you know, when you couple that with the type of education you get here and the facilities we have and the great weather, it's really, really good for golf. And so, you know, we're lucky and fortunate that we get a lot of good players that want to come here. They're fortunate enough to be able to see PGA Tour guys like John Merrick who have come through the system and have been able to, you know, get a great world-class education and play and have success and go on to aspire to be a PGA professional golfer. You know, I think it says a lot. So, you know, that's what we get to recruit to, and because of that, we've got guys who are successful. They come here and they understand that they've got to work hard and do the right things. And we've got guys that, like Jonathan, who, you know, dedicate their lives to getting better and try to become the very best they can every single day. So, you know, for our team this year, we're just working hard every day. We're trying to get better, and you know, we talk in terms of not what our goals are at the end of the year or what they are, you know, in postseason or anything like that. But we're just trying to get better today. And so, if we can do that, I think we'll be okay. We had a great fall. We had some top finishes, and we leave for Hawaii next week, so we get to spend some time on the Big Island. to see how we come in after the off season. So, for us, it's exciting. The great thing is that these guys have access to PGA Tour guys and watching them and trying to understand what it's like. And so, it's inspiring to them. And, for our guys, they are just trying to get better. We've got a great facility, a great team, great education. So, we're just working hard to do the best we can.
Derek, OD, this is you've made a career in golf. Been in golf the whole time, most of your career, including taking a stab at a pro golfer yourself. What does it mean to you to kind of coming home in a sense here to the West Side, to Los Angeles, and not just coming home, but stepping into such a historic, revered tournament as this?
You mean following in your footsteps?
Jerry's footsteps.
Oh. It's a dream come true. I mean, being able to have a chance now to work for the PGA Tour, and and I thought about this opportunity when I was fortunate enough to look at it. I love Riviera, or the Riviera Country Club. I think it's just one of the great venues in golf, and I grew up in the game. Love this community, and the thing I love about Los Angeles is that the expectations here are at the very highest level in everything you do. And this golf tournament, we're not going to be satisfied until this golf tournament is the very best golf tournament that is played, period. And everyone I work around and all of the goals that, whether it's Northern Trust, the work the City of Hope does, the work that the PGA Tour does with the first tee, everything is to be #1 in every category. So that really appealed to me. And so, again, I feel lucky to have the opportunity to move this forward after this event.
And, John, before we open it up to questions, looking forward to seeing you out there. A lot will be written and said about you and your win last year. It was a pretty dramatic win, but certainly you're the guy with the target on his back this year. So how are you feeling going into the tournament? What are you thinking about? How have you been playing and getting ready for it?
I haven't been playing great lately. I made a couple cuts early on, a couple weeks ago in the desert, and then last week in San Diego, but I finished in the mid-40s somewhere. So just need to make a couple more putts, get a couple more up and downs. That's kind of the story of golf. You can always, do that a little bit better, each area of the game. But excited, definitely, to come back to Riviera. I just can't wait.
Right, well, we can't wait to have you out there. So at this time, we're going to open it up to any of you that have a question for any of our panelists. We'll take a few minutes and answer those questions. Jill?
John, I'm just wondering, you were talking about the confidence and what changed for you after winning. How do you think other people saw you on tour? Do you think that changed as well?
I don't think a whole lot. I don't know what they're thinking, but maybe you get some more recognition. I think you get guys coming up to you and say, "Good job, good win." So that feels good. You definitely feel like you're in, kind of the winners group out there. There's a fraternity of guys that have done that out there, so it's a nice feeling. But not a whole lot's changed since then.
John, did winning? Did you put more expectation on yourself for last year? I mean, moving forward, did you feel like you had a little more self-inflicted pressure to follow up on that?
A little bit more. I think when I started the tour in '07, I had a couple good years, '08 and '09, and I think I struggled in the 10 season. When I did that, I put too much pressure on myself. I thought about winning too much, rather than just going out and trying to play good golf. Golf never changes. It's you against the golf course. Whether you're playing, par 3 course or Riviera Country Club or against anybody, you're just trying to do the best you can. And if you just focus on the core of that, everything kind of takes care of itself. I just kept, looking, at the money list or different things, just things you couldn't control, And I think I calmed down a bit. And then last year, just kind of just try to play golf, the way it should be.
Question back?
Yes, John. Since we're at UCLA, could you share some of your top UCLA golf memories? Pac-10, NCAA, and I think there was a 63 at Oakmont thrown in there.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, the Pac-10s at Oakmont. That was a fun day. Got to play with Ricky. I think Ricky Barnes the last day, right? Yeah, put a whipping on him. That was fun. But no, yeah, got a lot of great memories. We struggled as a team our first couple of years, and gosh, then Odie came in. Yeah, and then Odie, it's funny that I was thinking about it on the way up, what I was going to say about Odie. And he kind of touched on it, before I was going to say anything. And he said, he wants to bring, the Riviera tournament to be the best. And that's what Odie did day one when he came in. We kind of struggled as a team, and we all sat down together, and that's something I'll never forget. He said, we're going to be the best team in the country, and we're all kind of looking around like, okay, let's do it, And that was kind of the catalyst, kind of what happened when he came in. And, yeah, we won a ton of tournaments, 12, 13 tournaments. A lot of tournaments during that time period. Lots of couple close misses at nationals. We finished second our last year and third at Oklahoma. So it was just great memories. It was just such a fun role those last couple of years.
So to interrupt real quick, Odie, any particular memories of John that you can share with the group?
No, his 63 at Oakmont here when we hosted way back in the Pac-10 days, was one of the best rounds of golf I've ever seen. He finished eagle, I believe, on the last two holes, par 5, and put a whooping is very subtly said by John. It was and it was one of those times where you really get a glimpse into what he's capable of. He's always had one of the most beautiful rhythmic golf swings, if you've seen John play, you've ever seen. Just never hurries anything. Always hit the ball quite a long ways. He's a very good athlete. One of the things you may not know about John is that academically he graduated #1 in his class in high school, and is also that intelligent. So he's been very kind of cerebral. Always played within himself and had a quiet confidence. He was I don't know, and again, I would never take much credit for his success because I just had him for a couple years, and I don't know that that anyone really can. John is very slow at times, and I think you have to really earn your stripes to be able to get in there and get some of the points across, which is one of the strengths that I think he really has as a PGA Tour, successful PGA Tour player now, because there's so much input that's available to you out on the PGA Tour that John really has the people. He surrounds himself with great people, and is going to continue to bring him success.
Any other questions for any of the panelists up here? Yes, sir.
Question for John. The list of winners of this tournament is quite impressive. Odie, Snead, Palmer. What's it like to see John Merrick at the top of that list right now?
Yeah, I actually got a text message from a guy because I hadn't seen the statue. Yeah, right above 18 Green, Hogan statue, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got a text message a couple months ago. They played the golf course, and he's like, have you seen this yet? He kind of wrote a little caption. I was like, wow, no, I haven't seen it. And I actually played the course a week later and got to see it. And, yeah, I just kind of got goosebumps, looking at it. It's just, yeah, another kind of, it's just, everything was just icing on the cake, That statue is, Ben Hogan, I think, won 5. Was it 5 times there? Or a lot. But it's just real special. It's just a great memory, knowing that I'll always be on that statue.
Yes, sir.
Al Godfrey with the Tee It Up Radio Network, Sunday mornings locally on AM 870 Golf Talk. Jonathan, how did you get involved going to UCLA? Were you recruited, or did you apply heavily and charge the coaches? How did that process work, and what high school did you go to?
I went to St. Francis in Mountain View. I was actually recruited by Garrick and assistant coach Ryan Ress at the time. I always wanted to go to UCLA for no particular reason. I had no family connection towards it, but I just felt like on paper the combination of academics, golf, campus, girls, just everything was honestly,
Derek didn't mention that was part of the recruiting.
You're going to do great, Jonathan. Mine's in the right place. Perfect.
He's doing just fine.
So yeah, it all just kind of came together, and then I had the opportunity to come on a visit and meet with Coach, and once I saw it all firsthand, I realized that it was really the best place for me, and I was lucky enough to get offered a scholarship my sophomore year of high school, and of course, as overwhelming as that sounds, I made a pretty good decision, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now.
We have time for one more question. Okay.
Yep,
we'll do 2 more.
St. John's, and he's a great player. So I was just curious, how, for you, John, how did playing collegiate golf, how did it prep you to play at the greatest level of all time?
Yeah, I think it's the best breeding ground to play for professional golf, because it's not that different. You know, you travel out to a tournament, you play a practice round, you stay in a hotel. You got to learn new golf courses, new grasses, new, you know, weather conditions. You got to deal with jet lag. You got to deal with all these kind of variables that college golf brings. You know, you got to learn time management. You know, you got to learn. There's so many, you know, balls in the air. You got to worry about your classes and everything. So, it's a great breeding ground. It's the best way to go, I think, to prepare yourself for the tour.
We have one more in the back. Yes.
John, you guys have kind of a tight-knit group on golf. What did Jamie tell you after you won, and what did it mean to be able to kind of bring back a title for all? I mean, you and Paul Guidos now, two guys that grew up playing rec card. What did it mean to be able to bring a title back there?
Yeah, gosh, it was real special, special time to hang out with Jamie at that event. He's helped me so much with my game, you know, over the years. And then to kind of have the share it with the guys back in Long Beach, John Mallinger and Peter Tomasulo and Patrick Cantlay. Brett Letter recently got his web.com card. We all practice out at the same club. John Cook goes out there and Guidos as well. So, it was just great to come back and do a little bragging and have a little bragging rights for a little bit. But it's a great group of guys down there. We kind of push each other on, and you know, when one guy does really well, we root him on, and you know, it's a great atmosphere we have down there. Real competitive and real good. It almost kind of feels like you know, your college team again. So it's nice to have that feeling.
Once again, John, OD, Derek, Jonathan, we thank you for your time. As we're going to finish the formal part of our press conference, we invite our panelists to pair up with a City of Hope patient or former patient. We're going to have a putting contest right outside the doors. After that, we will have time for one-on-ones that Laura will be happy to set up for you. So see Laura to take care of that. And here's how we're going to pair them up. John, you are going to be golfing with 12-year-old John Clower from the City of Hope. Derek, you're going to be pairing up with Jalen Fong, 12-year-old patient with City of Hope. And Jonathan, we have you with Hannah Comay, 23-year-old from the City of Hope. And we're going to go outside, have a putting contest. You three are going to be their caddies and help them line up that putt. And whoever wins will experience a behind-the-scenes and upgraded experience at the Northern Trust Open this year. So make sure you help them. We'll work our way right outside.